Hello, my loyal viewers. We're going to try something new today responding to a video. It might not be smooth at first, but give it a chance. Now, this video is a doozy, but let's set it up. Imagine you're an overweight woman and you were looking for love, and you don't just find one man, but several. What happens next?
This is Tori. She fell in love with Travis.
What in the living fuck is that? If she fell in love with that rodent there, must be something I'm missing. I look at this dude and I see that one kid in your high school, we all know the one, who walks up to girls in the hallway and is like, "Where's my hug?" Then he holds on too long and smells their hair like a regular Joe Biden. Maybe I'm selling him short, but I can't look at him anymore, so moving on.
And Ethan.
Oh, Christ, it gets worse. This woman fell in love with what I can only assume is the sensei to four adolescent deviant terrapins, but she also fell for a guy who looked strangely proud of sharing a woman with that marine. At least there isn't a neckbeard in this crowd.
And Mark. And Chris.
Damn it, shouldn't have said anything, because here comes the neckbeard. It makes sense, though. He is so desperate for the pussy that not only will he willy fuck this absolute unit, but he will enter a polyamorous relationship from a lady. All he needs is a fedora. Jesus, at least there isn't a fucking ginger.
They're
Spoke too fucking soon. This lady is like a magnet for beta males. I mean, hey, she really needed to get stuffed like a Thanksgiving turkey, but it definitely helps when you're the only woman at the Magic the Gathering tournament. It just goes to show that you can be rolling in the cock as a woman, regardless of your physical appearance, because guys like this exist. But why they're on a video from Truly, formerly Barcroft TV, I've yet to see anything that warrants them to be in the public eye. Rather, I've seen things that warrant them to seclude themselves from the public and eliminate themselves from the gene pool.
four-way relationship is working wonders for them.
The relationship could best be described by having Tori as the hub and all of us are spokes on a giant wheel.
This guy's description is a fair one, but only because I could totally see Tori rolling down the street in these cucks, holding on for dear life lest they lose their only chance for sex with a real woman.
But not everyone understands the dynamic.
I was like, oh, you're kidding, that you're joking.
Of course this bitch doesn't get it, but only because her cooch is like the Atacama Desert and she's like, hey, sharing is caring. I need some peen too.
How will this poly relationship cope with a further addition to the family?
Oh, fuck me. These people are doing everything I don't want them to do, namely reproduce. Hopefully, disaster can be averted by not having the dad be the actual fucking rat. Not that any of these other degenerates will be much better, but at least they won't devolve the entire human race.
And so, who's the father of the baby?
Alright, so then this is mine and Travis's room. This is the master bedroom.
It would be fucking Florida, wouldn't it? I used to think Alabama was Florida's retarded cousin, but I think it's the other way around now. Fucking hell, maybe we should just classify Florida as its own dimension because it is at this point.
This is the room that has the bigger bed that people will swap in and out of every night just so that everyone can get equal turns, sharing a bed.
Seems like these betas are diehard communists, sharing a bed and sharing a dick sheath. However, if you are constantly switching, I assume that only applies to the dudes. Separately, how often do you change the sheets? Because if it's anything less than 2 hours, this constitutes a health and safety violation.
While this is like mine and Travis's room, we keep all of our stuff in here. People are rotating in and out.
Rotating. Because of that, I imagine a fucking chart with days of the week and these fucking cucks having conversations like, Travis, it's my turn to sleep with Tori. And he responds in a few more minutes. Rodents are notorious for their stamina and their small penises.
The first polyamorous relationship I had been in was actually with Travis and Ethan. Travis was the one who had brought up the idea to me.
First polyamorous relationship, normally a joke would be warranted about one dick not being enough, but let's be real, their dicks are worth about half of an average one. It also doesn't surprise me that at all that the damn rat is the one who suggested this fucking perverse shit that goes against every single religion except the Sandy one.
We met back in elementary school. We've been
That guy went to school? I don't believe that, unless he was her class pet. What can I say? Elementary schoolers love rodents.
dating for about 2.5, almost 3 years.
Good for them, but is that longevity going to work out? Because rodents don't have the longest lifespan, and the others are headed for a shallow grave because low T counts have been connected to testicular cancer.
I've known Ethan since junior high, and
Look how smug he is. That's the face of somebody overly proud of not being single. No matter how much I disagree and find myself retching, I remind myself that this girl is reducing the incel population, so it's at least neutral in impact.
we made things official recently, but we've basically been dating for about 2 years now.
The term poly, meaning multiple, often refers to a 3-person relationship, but for these guys, it's Tori and her 4 separate lovers.
And the next one would be
For lovers, this is ridiculous. I would say learn to share, but again, being honest, you were doing the world a favor by taking care of these guys who are exemplary millennial men, by which I mean pussy.
Mark. We met in high school, and then Chris is
I bet he's thinking, "Ha, Dad, you said I'd never find a woman, but look at me now." And his dad must have been even more disappointed. I imagine this conversation, "Dad, this is my girlfriend Tori. How nice, son." And her boyfriends. "I have no words, son. Get the hell out of my house."
the newest addition.
The look on his face tells me he resents that. You already know he does the most undesirable work around the house, such as giving the cum bucket its hourly rinse and scrub.
We've been dating since April.
The relationship could best be described by having Tori as the hub and all of us are spokes on a giant wheel.
You already said that, but pad the runtime, I guess. Also, is it just me or is this girl's laugh really, really irritating?
All right, I'm starting with a good card. I have yay.
In case you were wondering, I have a machine that measures testosterone, and I use it when watching these videos and it just hit a new low. These 4 are possibly the biggest simps ever, but at least they aren't thrusting themselves on the unsuspecting public thanks to this sort of heroic woman.
No. Are you all quite competitive when it comes to games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course they're competitive, because this is like one of those nature documentaries when there is one female having many males show their dominance to win her favor. In this case, strength or brains can't be used, so a board game is the best substitute.
We have to try not to be.
So is there any one person that tends to win when you play games?
I refuse to believe that the fucking ginger is genetically superior, but then again, at least he looks somewhat normal except for the piercings.
Definitely Chris.
Listen, it's not my fault.
It is.
Of course it isn't your fault, just like a man can't help it when he kicks the shit out of a woman in a combat sport. You are just genetically advantaged, and you are the only person in this room who, in my opinion, could possibly be allowed to reproduce. And yes, that includes the
It's your fault.
Also, I rarely play this game to win. I generally just like sowing chaos.
Why?
Okay, you are going to need to shut the fuck up before I start building the world's largest rat traps and setting them up around your house. I just like sowing chaos. I thought the neckbeard would be the one with the fedora, but I can now promise you that somewhere there is a picture of this dude with a samurai sword wearing a fedora. However, sowing chaos is better than sowing your seed. Travis, you shouldn't curse future generations with your recessive rat genes.
While this poly quintet are happy to play games with one another, that's as far as play goes for the boys in this relationship.
We're not romantic with each other. We're all just connected with her.
The only way I could have come close to accepting this monstrosity is if you do what you just explicitly stated you didn't do. All of a sudden, this becomes much more awkward. What do you do when the other guys are taking their turn with the only female who gives them love and isn't related to them? Jerk off, bitch about you not getting enough turns, complain about how the new guy complicates things. This is unacceptable. You should just end it now and be normal, but that is impossible. Can't think about this anymore. It fucking disgusts me.
Although Tori might like it to be another way.
They're all more than welcome to have another partner if they so choose, but as of currently, no.
Of course she wants them to get another partner because she wants to share the labor of pretending to climax with another woman. Of course they don't have another partner because no woman would touch these guys with a 40-foot pole. Also, can I point out that this deviant shit will have a negative impact on your...
Honestly, I would love it if somebody found a second partner.
Holy crap, that sounds like the way an elementary school teacher describes children playing together.
You know, dividing time between all 5 people and making sure everyone feels included is kind of difficult.
I don't see how there could be any problems in this sort of little relationship, but what do I know? I'm not a voiceover artist.
But there are problems when 4 men are vying for just one woman's attention.
It's funny now, but it won't be when he kills the rest of the men the way nature intended. It will be especially bad if the kid isn't his.
How often do you experience jealousy in the relationship?
Regretfully, a lot of the time.
Describing anything involving this as healthy is just a flat-out lie. Plain and simple.
But, thankfully, there are a couple of healthy ways to deal with it.
Of course they just talk around their issues, because if any of them could physically impose their will, they wouldn't be in this situation. Also, Travis, if you keep looking at me like that, we're gonna have words, man.
Primarily just talking to each other.
We have a tendency to talk around the moment of, hey, I need some time with Tori, rather than actually saying it outright.
Pointless information, and Travis, if you open your mouth again, I'm setting those rat traps and I won't tell you where.
Yeah.
But introvert, extrovert, introvert.
That's stating the fucking obvious. If any of you were good at communicating, you would be in a different situation.
Yeah.
So only 2 of us are actually any good at open communication.
You don't have friends, man. Rodents are very territorial.
It helps if you know the person. An example, seeing her with Ethan, a lot easier because I was friends with him. Her and
Again, that's obvious because the only way you get a woman is if you were the other man.
Chris was a bit dicier at first. There was a lot more jealousy, and I'll openly admit that. The same goes for Mark, because I'd never interacted with them.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to nay that.
I know your name.
But for me personally, yeah. I've never been with the idea of monogamy, so I've always looked for a polyamorous relationship.
Yeah, because you will be me too, and I will be on board with.
So, would you ever consider a romantic relationship with each other?
I don't really know, to be honest. I guess I'm open to it, but I'm not gonna go after it.
You don't like the cock. Good to know. But of course, being gay would improve your chances of finding anybody because 0 times anything is still 0.
I know Ethan and I sorta tried back in high school, and that kind of flopped really fast.
Y'all are going to be shit parents.
I can't.
Oh yeah, that sucks.
All of your unicorns are pandas.
My turn.
And now this 5-way relationship is about to be joined by an additional member.
Alright, and then here we have the nursery.
You are going to proper fuck this kid up. She's going to think this is perfectly normal, but she'll be bullied her whole life. and maybe she will learn from that and be a lot smarter and less degenerate than the people she fell out of.
So it's starting to get set up. It's not quite done yet. Not due for another couple of months, so we still have some more time.
So I am currently about 23, 24 weeks pregnant. We found out a couple weeks ago that we're having a girl. We're very excited.
A decent question, but a better one would be whose parents are extremely, extremely disappointed.
And so, who's the father of the baby?
The answer is all of their parents are disappointed, except maybe Travis, but that's because rodents' brains aren't developed enough to register disappointment. He looks happy with himself, but I hope later he will realize the horror he unleashed on the world. This has got to be some kind of apocalyptic omen.
So Chris is the biological father. We just know that because of timing.
I wonder if you are all trapped in the scenario by Tori and or Travis. I will say again, you will all be terrible parents.
But as far as, I guess, socially goes, we're all raising the baby together, so everyone's dad.
How will the kid be able to tell the difference between the dads? I guess you'll have Dad, Poppy, Big Poppy, and Master Splinter.
So, Chris, how do you feel about everyone operating the role of dad?
It's definitely a little interesting. I mean,
This isn't interesting, Chris. It's heretical. And I'm going to send this video to the Spanish Inquisition as soon as I'm done with you.
Having an unusual relationship structure has meant they've all received judgment in different forms.
Good. If they didn't, I would lose even more faith in humanity. Also, I would hope there would be 4 to 5 separate sources of income, but judging from the state of the quote-unquote men in this relationship, there probably isn't. You have Mark, who spends all day arguing online about Star Wars with random people. You have Ethan, who is seemingly retarded. Chris, who might be the only one who is employed. And Travis does work in a peanut butter factory, but does so voluntarily.
Polyamory is definitely an uncommon thing. A lot of people have grown up in monogamy culture of, you know, you don't really love someone if you have eyes for somebody else.
You mean normal people.
it sucks to have to say, but I probably have more of the negative reaction from friends and family. When I first got into the relationship, my friend group was not very supportive of it at all.
You should have listened to your friends, Ginge, but look at you now. You're a not-so-proud dad.
My family is slowly coming around to the idea. The pregnancy has helped with that.
How? That should be doing the opposite. I would disown you if you were my son, and I don't think that would be out of line.
Most of my friends know all of my
The person in the text isn't off base, they're correct. Up the shut fuck.
partners, and they love us and think that we're cute
I thought you were fat until about 3 minutes into the video.
and such. My family is kind of quiet about their disapproval.
You should be glad we aren't related, because me and my family would be loud with our disapproval, you spoiled bitch. Be happy you found 3 incels and a ginger.
The relationship was also met with mixed feelings by Tori's closest relation.
I will admit that since I'm her older brother, that I just have that tendency, I suppose, to.
Everyone in this family seems to be fucked in the head. One is a tranny, and one is doing this bollocks.
Be protective. I wasn't expecting the pregnancy announcement. That one was a little bit of a shocker for me. You know, that protective older brother. I was like, oh, you're so young. I was like, oh, you're kidding, that you're joking. No. But now, since then, it's really exciting. I'm very excited to meet my niece. It takes a village to raise a child and all of that. I just feel like the more love that you could put in, the better the outcome for the kid can be.
If you were a good brother, You'll put a stop to this shit. Beat the crap out of her boyfriends like a good brother would.
There's a little face picture, little foot in the middle. Yeah.
Despite the judgment, jealousy, and jostling for attention, these guys are more than excited to welcome the 6th person into their family.
I'm a little partial to us, but I couldn't think of a better family to raise a baby in.
I could. Any family except this one. Even a pack of fucking wolves.
I'm definitely excited. This is gonna be an adventure, so I'm more than ready for it.
Less of an adventure, more of an experiment. That could go horribly wrong. I'll check back with this kid 15 years down the line and see if they're still around, and if so, how they're doing. Woo! That was painful for me. I hate the name of this show. Love, don't judge, because these people deserve judgment, and maybe if they got more, they would be normal. As always, share the video with your friends because the algorithm monster isn't friendly to any channel with differing views, no matter their size, and even if we were, the algorithm would still fuck us. I will close with this. Send me stories or videos you want to see me cover seriously or rip the piss out of, because they are wrong, funny, stupid, or some combination thereof. And remember, any guy who complains about being lonely should be reminded about the existence of fat girls. Anyone who complains about being lonely should be reminded about bronies and Magic the Gathering fans.
And so I cry sometimes when I'm lying in bed just to get it all out what's in my head. And I feel it a little peculiar. And so I wake in the morning and I step outside and I take a deep breath and get real high. And I feel the top of my lungs, what's going on? And I say, hey, I say, hey, what's going on? And I say, hey, I say, what's going on? And he tries. Oh my God, do I try? I try all the time in this institution. And he tries.